Hi, my name is Kathy Skipper and I'm a menopause midwife. Welcome to my channel, The Alchemy of Menopause. In this video, I'm going to highlight 5 reasons why I believe perimenopausal women too easily give the power of this sacred inner fire that comes through the hot flashes away, rather than seizing it for themselves and their transformation during this highly transformative period in their lives. So the first reason is that most women, when they get their first hot flashes, one, they're not prepared for them, and two, they don't have the knowledge or the skills to know that they can let this burn through them and gain some very important transformation and purification from them. They haven't had the transmission that they need of this mindset and the spiritual guidance that can come from wiser, older women who have been through this journey themselves and seized that power and transformed themselves and healed themselves through it. There aren't enough wiser older women sharing their journeys with women. And so women feel lost. They don't have this sacred feminine consciousness. 2, the mainstream is extremely loud and seems to be, through internet, podcasts, interviews, books, classes, seems to be inundated about advice for menopause that is based on symptoms, medication, getting rid of these hot flashes and other changes that women go through, medicating them, diminishing them. And this makes women instantly get the message and therefore feel that there's something wrong with them. They're ill. Menopause is a disease that needs to be treated. Treatments and causes for menopause are one of the first things you'll read if you Google menopause. And so this message is inundating women and they're believing it. There is no mention of hot flashes and the inner sacred fire being purifying or empowering or spiritual in any way. 3, this overwhelm and disempowerment when it comes to hot flashes prevents women from looking for ways to access the wisdom in the fire. They feel overwhelmed, they feel disempowered, they listen to the mainstream, and so they don't ask themselves the right questions. And even if they do, it's very hard with all the noise about menopause and all the medications and supplements and exercises being sold to women to find the right answer, because the right answer is within. Women have everything they need within them to seize the moment and use it as this transformational tool. 4, there are some women, or many women actually, that I've encountered over the 10 years that I've been teaching the Alchemy of Menopause program, and I also encountered this in my own menopausal journey, that feel the heat, not just in hot flashes, but as a sort of searing, poker light, intense, burning, flamey fire in their belly or womb space. And this is terrifying. It's terrifying. It makes women feel very lonely and frightened, and they don't really know what to do because it is so intense. And I had this myself, and as I said, I've had other clients with this feeling. And the impulse is to either withdraw into oneself and think there's something seriously wrong, when is this going to go away, or is to go out there and get some serious medication because something's really wrong. But in fact, my experience has shown me that this is a message from the body, probably triggered by the hormones in this transformational period in woman's life, saying, yes, you are carrying trauma that needs to be healed. And this is a message that this is where your intention and your attention is needed. So the trauma is very feminine and really to do with either childbirth, mothering, relationships with, sexual relationships, something in that area that you're carrying that needs to be transformed. And often when this is very, very intense, I also look at a woman's ancestral mother line, because this story probably didn't start with her. And that's why it's so intense. She's carrying her own echo of a trauma that started in the women whose shoulders she's standing on. And this is this message, this feeling, even though it's terrifying, when worked with, when given meaning, women suddenly start to feel better because they don't feel alone and they don't feel lost and they can do something about it. And guess what? When they do work through this, they find their inner healing and their inner power. Don't forget, the gift is in the wound. This is a sign from the body that they're carrying a wound, but the other side of this wound, when worked with consciously, is their gift, is their often even their soul's purpose. And they come back to themselves and come back to a sense of embodiment and a sense of self. And finally, even those women who have understood that this inner sacred fire can be spiritual, is spiritual, even these women often don't believe that they can handle or even deserve this spiritual power. They believe or are told that this Kundalini energy, this rising heat, that actually some elite Buddhist monks meditate to conjure up this heat in their bodies. They call it the fierce goddess of heat. But these women don't believe that they can seize this, that this is theirs, that it is spiritual, that it is empowering. They've had so many messages from the patriarchal value system. The women whose shoulders they're standing on have been so squeezed into a way of thinking about the feminine that they don't allow themselves to seize this spiritual power. They believe it's only for highly spiritual people and definitely not for them. So it gets wasted. So there you go. These are 5 reasons why I feel we need to have different messages out there for women, different programs. We need the older, wiser women to guide and initiate women through this period in their lives, knowing that the sacred inner fire, one, is there to help them transform, to purify, to burn through old stuff in order to transform. 2, that often this heat is something that won't end at menopause. It will go on. I have a lot of heat, these ripples of heat, and I'm 60 and way past menopause. And this heat I now see as a spiritual power. You know, many of the shamans in the world throughout history have been women. There's a brilliant book called, I think it's called The Female Shaman, or, oh no, The Shaman in a Woman's Body. Look it up. But it's the history of shamanism throughout the world and how actually there were many more women than men. And that, you know, at the heart of shamanism is tending the fire, working with fire, the sacred inner fire. So this is the message that women need, that working with our fire, yes, if the hot flashes, you know, are overwhelming, we can work with herbs and we can go out into nature and ground ourselves and go to women's circles and talk about it. Yes, it's a conversation, but it's not something to systematically get rid of and see as a symptom, see as something that we shouldn't be feeling, or we don't need to feel, or we need to get help with, or treatment with, and what are the causes. So yes, that's what I have to say at the moment about this inner fire. And I do want to say that if you're watching this before February the 27th of 2025, sign up. The link is in the bio for a free 90-minute masterclass I'm doing on the alchemy of menopause, where we'll look at the first alchemical stage and how it affects women going through menopause. That first stage is called calcinatio. So you can sort of guess a bit about what that's going to be about. If you like my channel, please subscribe, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.